Welcome aboard my virtual space station and to the latest of our videos looking at how science is helping to tackle the planet's climate crisis. For the last century or so, humans have been messing up the Earth's precious atmosphere, that thin blue line surrounding the planet, allowing too much carbon dioxide, CO2 and other greenhouse gases into the air, leading to our planet getting hotter. The number of people living on our beautiful planet has now passed 8 billion, and providing food for everyone is a big challenge. It now accounts for about a quarter of all the greenhouse gas emissions caused by humans, similar to the amount produced by the world's transport. But why is that figure so high for food production, and what can we do about it? Let's link up with Jiraiya on the ground, or more accurately, tucking in at a fancy London restaurant.
Hi Scarlett, and yes, it is hard to believe that food, especially meat, can add so much to global warming. High on the list for greenhouse gas emissions is eating animals like chicken and pigs. But the worst food of all for emissions, and that many people love, is... Yep, you guessed it, it's beef, which of course comes from cows. Estimates suggest that around 1/10 of all gases causing global warming comes from rearing and eating cattle.
Wow, that means cows are up there with things like fossil fuel-powered cars and planes as a serious problem for climate change. So how can that be? Well, the first thing I found out is that there are over 1 billion cattle in the world, and it's estimated that about 3/4 of them are reared to be eaten. That's a lot of beef, millions of tons in fact. The first problem is that so many cows take up a big area to graze in, and in countries like Brazil, a lot of forest has been cut down or burnt to make room for cattle ranches. That's bad news, because forests are vital for absorbing carbon dioxide. And a huge related problem is feeding the cows. Even more forest has been replaced by vast plantations growing crops like corn and soybeans to feed cattle, and for other farmed animals like chickens and pigs. Cows are also directly responsible for emissions of another greenhouse gas called methane, which is almost 30 times worse than CO2 in causing global heating. And emissions is the right word, because the methane comes from the cow's stomach as part of its rather long digestive process. Some of the methane comes from cows' farts, but the majority is actually burped out. It sounds quite funny, but imagine over 1 billion cows constantly burping and passing wind. Scientists and farmers have been working together to find ways to farm cattle more in harmony with nature and climate. But these approaches may not be enough to keep up with growing global demand for meat. Now, back to you, Jiraiya. Hey, you're not having another steak, are you?
Hi again, Scarlett. And well, yes and no. Sanjay's the boss here, and he's preparing me 2 steaks to sample.
So we have 2 different items being cooked in this oven, and I want Jiraiya to taste them. One of them is a classic ribeye steak from a cow. The other one is made with soya beans, pea proteins from Redefined Meats. And I believe a lot of people now, yes, they're becoming vegans, but also a lot of meat eaters as well. They still want to be more healthy. And then let's make a bit more for you.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, this looks good. Thank you so much, Sanjay.
Pleasure, 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 man.
Scarlett, I can't have this all to myself, so let me send a bit up to you.
Amazing what you can do in a virtual space station.
Okay, so what we've got to do is figure out which one is real meat and which one is vegetarian.
This looks so good. I can't wait any longer. This one looks like a normal steak you'd find at a restaurant, but I mean, right now you never know. So let's try. This is so good.
It smells like steak. That one's got to be the real one.
Let me try the other one to see. You can see inside right there, looks quite meaty.
Looks fake. That one also tastes like meat. I mean, the texture and everything. This is going to be really hard.
Wait, no, I think this one's the meat one. This one I thought for sure had to be the meat one. It's tough, but I think I'm gonna have to go for this one.
I have to disagree with you on that one, Jiraiya. I think they both taste absolutely amazing, but I'm gonna have to say I think this one is the real one and that one's a fake one, but it's still so delicious.
Wrong. Seriously, yeah.
That one is plant-based and that one is meat-based.
Wow. So slightly annoyingly, I have to admit, you got it right, Scarlett.
But it's amazing how the texture is so similar to the real meat.
It is, it's so good.
And the beauty also is like they use a bit of strawberry and beetroot for the color as well.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. I'm gonna have some more. Here.
There are several ingenious ways of making non-meat look and taste like real meat. All use vegetarian ingredients, and many use no animal products like milk whatsoever, so are good for vegans too. The steak we've tried is made by the Israeli company Redefine Meat. Their recipes and processes are kept a bit secret so they don't get stolen by another company. But we do know they use a kind of 3D printer to help get the right meaty texture for their steaks. Some food companies are experimenting with growing meat from the animal cells, so you get a kind of real meat, but no animals are slaughtered to make it. And the hope is that greenhouse gases are vastly reduced.
Scarlett, there's one last thing I need to try, but I want you to join in with me.
Sure, Jiraiya. Well, what is it?
Well, as awareness for animal farming's environmental impact grows, so does interest in this, edible insects.
Edible insects? That sounds absolutely disgusting.
No, seriously, they're cheaper than meat, full of protein, and emit far less greenhouse gases. Let me beam some up to you.
Ugh, they look awful. Look how big that one is. That one's got wings.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, no. Ugh. What do you think, Scarlett? I don't like it.
It's so bad.
Well, eating insects in some countries is quite popular and growing in other countries, but I don't think it's going to be a major part of our diet here in Britain anytime soon.
I think I agree. But what is clear is that a growing number of young people have given up eating meat in recent years. Roughly 1 in 6 are either vegan, vegetarian, or only eat fish. Some of it is down to the environmental damage it causes. Some of it to avoid what they see as animal cruelty in factory farms. But if you don't want to give up meat completely, and I know Jiraiya and I don't at the moment, then the main message is to try to cut down. Maybe aim to have red meat like beef or lamb once a week at most. And perhaps look at other food it would be good to swap out. It'll help our planet and help us stay healthy too.